Hello and welcome to another episode of my horror pickup series. I'm going to be showing you in this video all the stuff that I've picked up during February. And I think it's safe to say I've had a pretty good month this month. So let's start. We'll start with the books. These are all from various charity shops. I don't quite remember which ones in each one, but you've got Blood Is Not Enough. That is a compilation of vampire stories. By a few of the authors you can see on there. Edited by Ellen Datlow. I do have like a few anthologies edited by her, and she seems to have good taste in stories, so that's good. James Herbert, Once, which I see that around quite a lot, but this is the first time I've actually picked up, and I've just noticed it's got a little peephole cover as well. Didn't even see that before. We have I'm not going to try and pronounce that author's name, but that is the name of that author. Children of the Vampire. I think this is part of a series actually. The only reason I picked this up is because I found a couple books that I wanted, and that particular shop was doing an offer where you buy two you get one free, so I just picked that one up. Next is Patricia Cornwell, All That Matters. Now this appears to be more of like a crime thriller rather than a horror, but it looked interesting, so I thought I'd pick that up. And you know, I'm sure there were like horror elements in it, even if there's nothing particularly supernatural. We have Poltergeist: Tales of the Supernatural by Harry Price. Now this Harry Price guy, he's actually quite a famous ghost, what's the word I'm looking for, investigator, and he's covered like a lot of stuff like the Borley Rectory stuff, and he even had someone playing him in The Conjuring Part 2, as terrible as that film was. But yeah, this is his book about poltergeists, which I paid £1 for, so can't argue with that. And the last book, we have a hardback James Herbert book, Nobody True. The synopsis doesn't really sound like my kind of thing, but you know, it's just another one to add to the collection. Maybe I'll get to read that one day. Maybe not. Okay, so that's the books. Next one I have down here is a record. Zombie Flesh Eater soundtrack from Death Waltz. Now, I'll show you what's inside of it. In my horror pickups video from a couple months ago, I had a load of records as well, and I didn't really go into too much detail on them because I had like a whole separate video looking at them. But I'm not going to do a separate video just for this one record, so I'll show you what we've got in this. So you get like a 4-page booklet with liner notes and stills from the film there. And I think this is a gatefold actually, yeah. You've got the famous eye gouging scene from the film right there. Very graphic scene in the film, and actually caused it to be banned in the UK for quite some time. It is fully available, like completely uncut now. And this one, like a lot of Death Waltz records, is on coloured vinyl. Now, the only way I can describe this is an unsettling shade of green. You might not even be able to properly see. I mean, in the camera it kind of looks almost clear, but that is a very very unsettling shade of green. But it's a really good soundtrack from Fabio Frizzi. He did the soundtrack for a lot of Lucio Fulci films, and whilst this soundtrack isn't as good as the one he did for City of the Living Dead, which is my personal favourite, it is still like really decent. So that was all I got up till about a couple of days ago. With like two days left in February, and I was just browsing through Gumtree, and I saw someone had put on a listing for about 100 horror DVDs for £20, like local to my area. So I messaged the guy. I said, if I give you an extra £5, will you deliver them? He said, yeah. So for £25, I got approximately 100 DVDs. Now I'm not going to lift them all up to the camera. I've got a little video which which you can see now, showing all of the titles. There's quite a lot of really awful shit in here. There is also a lot of really good stuff. There's also a lot of stuff that I already have. So some of this is going to be donated to my sister. She specifically asked for any duplicates, so she's going to get them. But for £25, you can't really argue with everything that you've got there. That is like insane value, and I'm sure I'll get many hours of entertainment out of them. So yeah, that was my February horror pickups video. Not all months are going to be as good as that. I mean, that is like an exceptional month. But we'll see what comes our way in March, and hopefully I'll see you again in about a month's time. So if you enjoyed this video, please click like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.